After seeing a couple posts here on Reddit about rust bluing, I figured I'd throw out my solution, how I do it. And for years I struggled with this thing. That's just a piece of gutter with two caps on it, and Permatex in the corners. And I fought with that thing for almost 2 years, over and over again. I started out with a turkey fryer, and then I moved to an old grill, and I realized that I was spending a lot of money on propane and wasting a lot of heat just to have a hot spot in the middle. Constantly keeping an eye on it, making sure the water doesn't boil off. Pain in the ass. Then I thought about it. And when I went to the scrap yard, I actually drew this out. Went to the scrap yard, I found a piece of square tube steel. It's 3 5/8 inner diameter, 4 inches outer diameter, 36 inches long. I also was able to find a piece of 8-inch channel iron, and it's about 12, 13 inches long. And I brought it home now, and I'm going to tell you right now, my welder is a $100 welder that I got on Amazon. And for small stuff, thin gauge stuff, it works great. But if they're this thicker stuff, you got to lay it in there, lap it in, because it doesn't generate enough heat to get good penetration. And what I did is when I got home, I took a hole saw and I cut 1 1/4 inch hole in the middle of the channel iron, and then I welded 1 1/4 inch pipe union to it, and I threaded in a 1400 watt 110 volt hot water heater element. Cut up an old extension cord, wired it in, and I put it on a ceiling fan speed control. Works off 110 volts household outlet. And it works just fine. Holds about 2 gallons of water, and I'm not buying propane anymore. Now, after I put it together, I realized that that steel was bleeding a lot of heat. So I went to, I believe it was Lowe's. I picked up some 1x8 boards, cut them at 36 inches, made a box to go around this, and then I packed this full of vermiculite. Acts as an insulating factor, keeps the heat in the steel in the water to boil. I cut a top, stuffed it in there, screwed it together, and then I just covered it with some silicone. Could this be a lot prettier? Absolutely, it could be a lot prettier. But right now it works. And when I get some time and some money, what I want to do is I want to weld 6 to 12 inches onto the top of this, make it taller, so that I get the longer stuff in there. A shotgun barreled receiver, like the old Model 20 JC Higgins that I did a few weeks ago, barely fit in there. So if I had a little bit more height, another 6 inches, make it 42 inches tall, I think that would accommodate those longer barrels just fine. Probably could use some stain. Probably could do this top better so that if it boils over, I don't have water soaking down through in here, because it still leaks into the vermiculite. But overall, I'm really happy with it. I get very good results. And if you're telling me that you don't have access to a welder, I'm telling you fellas, $100 wire welder, wire feed, flux core welder on Amazon is a solid investment. And you know, if you can't weld, keep trying. I just figured I'd let you guys know what I do, and I get really nice results with it. That's all for now.